It's powered by Joy Business and is brought to you by Goyle. Goyle, they say good energy, Goyle, Yanara, Yendia. And so this program airs every Wednesday between the hours of 1:15 p.m. runs all the way through to 2 p.m. here on your superstation Joy 99.7. My name, as always, is Yabanafo, and I am your host for the show. Once again, you're welcome to Masterclass. We always say here on the show that if there's something you want to do, there's something that you want to start, there's a business you want to get into, there's an endeavor that you have thought of. If you have not started, it's never too late to start. It's the 26th of June today, a few days to the end of the month of June, and then we're through 6 months plus one into 2019. Already we're getting towards the end of the year, but by all means do start, because it's better to start late than never. Our prayer, as it's always been here on the show, is that God bless our homeland Ghana and definitely make our nation great and strong. And on this note, we welcome you, our listeners, to Masterclass edition today. Last week, we spent some time here in the studio discussing, again, the issue of entrepreneurship and impacting global development through the experience of one of our very many entrepreneurs in this country, in the person of Alfred Ajabing. Alfred spent some time in the studio with us last week. Good afternoon, Alfred, if you're listening. Thank you so much for coming through last week. And he was, undertaking the very rather peculiar approach to entrepreneurship, creating a value chain in the process of school farms. I mean, something as simple as school farms. So essentially, his area of focus was picking up the various schools, second cycle schools, and finding out what can be done. And in his story, he mentioned that he had done, a form of partnership right from GES, through the regional office. Their office is in the Volta region, by the way, and they had partnered even with the local folk to help them with the planting and with the crops. And again, when the produce came, this would go straight to the schools and help to feed. The value chain there was very, very, very impressive. Today, we continue our discussion again, spending time again with one of Ghana's entrepreneurs here in the studio, and he'll be introducing himself shortly. He's the founder of a company that is called Chaste Global. I hope I've pronounced it correctly, Chaste Global. And he's making product, or I won't say produce, he's creating products here in Ghana right from scratch. He makes them here and he sells them here. Obviously, he's going to be able to sell them elsewhere also. But the reason that we dwell on these stories is so that we can encourage someone who gets up and says, look, I want to be able to do this for myself. The world has become a global market today. You go onto the internet, you go onto Instagram, and you can find pretty much everything. My greatest discovery from January to now in entrepreneurship is that I found out that there are up to about 4 companies and counting in Ghana who make chocolate. They don't import it. They don't buy it and package it. They prepare it. If I can borrow the word, they boil the chocolate here in Ghana. They make it from scratch. I mean, I've always thought that chocolate was, is a foreign product, it's imported. But there are Ghanaians today who are making chocolate and packaging it. And if you see some of that product, it competes with our world product hands down. Today we'll be looking at men's grooming. My guest in the studio has a specific product which is in the area of men's grooming, and I'll allow him to talk about it in a few seconds. But help me welcome to today's discussion, Mr. Daniel Odonko. Daniel, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Right, I'm excited to have you here. I mean, and I can see Daniel really nicely dressed with a very impressive apparel. If you want to see what Daniel is wearing, you can go to our Facebook page. We're streaming live, and then you can watch this conversation as well as listen to it. So, Daniel, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be talking about what you do, Chaste Global, your story, how you started, what your challenges are. We're discussing all of this under the umbrella topic, impacting developmental change through entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
This show is about entrepreneurs. It's about people doing their own business and being able to make Ghana better and themselves better. One of our heartbeats on the show is that we don't want people to just do businesses that do not survive them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they die, then the business dies. That's one of the greatest challenges that we have today as a country in our business sector. People build businesses, endeavors, things that are built around them. And it doesn't go beyond, them. I mean, it doesn't survive them. But I trust that with this new generation of people who are making chocolates from Ghana and your product, which you'll be telling us about shortly, hopefully we can begin to look at businesses that will survive the lifetime of individuals. But before we do that, very quickly, who's Daniel? Not too much information. Let's say, what school did you go to?
So I grew up in Tema.
Right. So you're a Tema boy?
Yes. I'm a
So all the
Tema
Tema guys, keep your dial locked right here on Joy 99.7, right?
Yeah. So basic school, St. Paul.
Okay.
From there, high school, Sum Sectec.
Okay.
And then to KNUST.
Woo! Okay. Which hall were you in?
Conti.
Wow. So when I say Conti, what do you say?
Power.
That's it. That's my boy. Okay, so all the Conti boys, we won't charge in the studio today, but your boy is right here. Talking about Conti and charging, did you watch the game last night? I know the whole nation is talking about it. Reed One is talking about it. Gary Smith is talking about it. My good friend Daniel Dazi is talking about it.
I watched the second half.
You didn't watch the first half?
Just a little bit of it.
Did you watch the first 3 minutes?
Yes, I saw the goal.
It was terrible, wasn't it?
I was heartbroken.
I was sitting with someone and they said, "What did they? Is it play? Did they score? Is it?" People were heartbroken, wasn't it? But I think that overall the Black Stars are doing well, aren't they? I mean, we have a lot of concerns, but really, I think we should support them.
They are. I think they can do better as well.
They can do better. Okay, so Black Stars, this is from Masterclass. We love you. We are supporting you. Multimedia is also supporting you.
Yeah.
So let's come back to today's discussion.
Yeah.
Chase Global. What is it? What do you do?
So Chase Global is a company where our aim is to challenge the status quo, basically. We currently are producing handmade shoes and leather
shoes.
Yes.
Okay.
And leather products such as belts, wallets, key holders, just name it.
You make these things?
MacBook covers, everything.
Okay, so for the next couple of minutes, I'll let you go. Talk to me about Chase. Tell the world your story, how you started, what your challenges were, what you went through, how you have partnered with different people, created a value chain, most of all, creating jobs for other people. Tell us your story as much as time will allow, and then we'll open the phone lines at some point, and then we'll have our listeners also join in. If you want to send us a comment, you can do that on 0244340437. This is Masterclass. If you just tuned in on your superstation, and we're having a discussion in the studio with Daniel Odonko, who happens to be the founder of Chase Global, a Ghanaian business started right here in Ghana, and he makes leather products. He makes shoes for men, belts, leather products, anything you can think about. This is Ghanaian businesses being homegrown Ghanaian businesses starting right here in Ghana. Let's encourage them. So let's listen to their stories. If you have any questions, you can send them on 0244340437. Just to also remind you that the show is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, they say good energy. Goyle, Yenara, Yendia. So Daniel, talk to us about Chase Global.
So the business started off in my room back in uni. I was in third year, and naturally I'm a trader. I like to, hang come trade. So I started off by selling Christian inscribed T-shirts to people in my class and in my church, and I was studying construction technology, which happens to be building technology. So in the building class, when I closed from school, I would get a friend who happens to be in the graphic design class to put together some designs. We started printing T-shirts, and I started selling because that is what I'm good at. So along the line, just close to my hostel, I chanced on a group of young men making sandals and slippers to be sent to Accra to be sold. So I spoke to them and asked them if I could, brand the sandal and the slippers and sell them. So they said, yeah. And I went back, thought about it, and I actually felt, sandals from Kumasi is just basic. So I wanted to challenge myself. I went back to them and asked them if they could make shoes. And, they started giving me stories about how it's difficult, they don't have the material. So I went online, on YouTube, started watching videos on how to make shoes. And funny enough, I realized that it was just about practice. I realized that the guys have the craft, but they just didn't believe in themselves that much. So I showed them the videos. They kept giving me excuses. But there was one guy that I realized that I could convince. He's called Sam. So I convinced Sam.
Do you want to say good afternoon to Sam right now? Is he listening?
I don't know if he's listening.
Okay, you go on.
Yeah. So I was able to convince Sam, and then we tried, let's say I think about the fourth pair, that was when I felt it was, good enough to be sold. And even that, it wasn't so good. I mean, from the standard that we have now. So then Sam told me that we would definitely have to buy, a lot more stuff. So I sold my laptop as a student. At that time, I remember I had just started my dissertation. So I just copied my dissertation onto a flash drive, and then I sold it to my roommates. One of my roommates was a second-year guy. He needed a laptop, so I just sold it to him for 600 CDs. So with 600 CDs, I started my business. We bought material, started producing, and then I started wearing these shoes that we were producing. I wore them to church, And my aim was, every day on campus, I speak to 2 people about my business. So whether I'm sitting in a shuttle, in class, walking on campus, I just speak to people about it. And 6 months into, running this, because I was just excited. So 6 months into it, I just lost everything. I lost all the money that I got from my laptop. I lost it to freebies, basically, with people on campus, because I really wanted to penetrate into the student market. So I then started again with my pocket money, and this time around I pushed harder. So within 3 months, I remember I had about just 3 months to leave school. So the SRC put together an award ceremony, and I was adjudged the best student entrepreneur. So when I was leaving campus, I told myself that I wouldn't just take this award and then go and sit at home with the award and just look at it. I have to prove myself. So during my national service period, when I received my national service money, I would just, go buy something little, because I had, a vision to set up my own shoe factory. So here in Accra, because I started in Kumasi. So by the end of my national service, I had close to 30,000 cedis. So I just rented a single room in town. Then I sourced for shoemakers here in Accra, which is very difficult, because all the craftists in Kumasi, the most crafty guys are in Kumasi, and having them in Accra is very difficult. I was able to get a few guys. I put them together, and we started off. Some have left, some have joined. It's been an on and off, but to the glory of God, for 3 years now, it's been, very smooth, and we've been able to find our feet. And now we've added other products such as the wallets, the accessories for men, and we are hoping to venture into female product as well, full time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I have so many questions for you already. I want to be able to ask questions about what are some of the challenges that you faced. I know that you've shared something with us, but I'm sure that there's a lot more behind the story. Yeah. And the reason why we do this is because when someone listens, we don't want it to just be like a story they listen to. We want them to be able to identify with the real life challenges. Because somebody says, look, I've tried 15 times. I don't have the strength to go the 16th time. So those are some of the questions that we're going to be asking you.
Yeah.
But we just want to remind our listeners that if you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass here on the Superstation, and we're spending time here in the studio with Daniel Odonko, who is the founder of Chaste Global, and they make shoes right here in Ghana. They also make other apparel from leather. Time check in the studio, 30 minutes past the hour of 1. Just remind you that this show is brought to us by Goyle. Goyle, they say good energy. Goyle, Yanara, Yendia. We'll be opening the phone line shortly, right after this.
The masterclass is in session, and you can interact with us via Facebook at Joy Business or at Joy 99.7 FM. And if you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM. Don't forget to hashtag masterclass. You can also send us a text on 1422 across all networks, or join the WhatsApp conversation on 0244 340437, and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Right, you're welcome back to the show. This is Masterclass, and we're spending time in the studio with Mr. Daniel Odonko, who is the founder and CEO of Chaste Global. So, Daniel, coming back to your story, just so that we're able to identify it properly, your seed money that you started with was 600 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
And this is because you sold your laptop.
Yes.
I've also had here in the studio Mabel Simpson of MSims. Good afternoon to you, Mabel, if you're listening. Mabel is also a Ghanaian entrepreneur who started her business with 200 cedis, which I think her grandmother gave her or something of the sort. Is a reality out there that you do not necessarily have to start big?
Yes. You don't have
I'm
to
trying to
start
break
big.
this down as much as possible for people, So is it okay to say that all you need to start with one product and sell that product and
Yes.
start again, depending on what you're doing?
Yes.
If it's tangible stuff and it's not a service you're offering. So what Mabel did was, I think she sold her first bag made out of material, and then people began to place orders and all that. We had Yaga Noma. Yaga was, I think, last year. She traveled abroad, went to do her masters in some interesting course, came back, and she used to make this local drink back in the north. For her parents and the guests, and she decided that she was going to start selling the drink to people, and that's how another person came here. They were making shit, or they were schooling in England somewhere, and people used to come and eat the shit for free. And she decided to start selling it. You have just told us a beautiful story of shoes. So you walked up there, you saw them making slippers, beautiful slippers, like they usually do wherever you go in Ghana. But you thought that you could also use that same skill and that same approach to make shoes.
Yes.
And you say it was after the fourth rendition that you... Tell us a bit more about that. I'm sure it didn't just fast forward to the fourth rendition.
Yeah.
There were challenges.
Yeah.
Why didn't you stop?
I didn't stop because...
Oh, before you answer that, let me just put the phone lines out. Numbers to call, 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. You can also send us a comment or a question on 0244-340-437. We're discussing the life experience of Daniel Odonko, Chaste Global. He now makes shoes. If you also make shoes, you have some ideas to share, give us a call, pick up that phone. Let's share your ideas. Let's share the thoughts. At the end of the day, we make Ghana better for it. The purpose of this show, amongst other things, is to challenge someone who's listening to us and make them angry enough to want to get up and start something just like Daniel has. So, Daniel, you were telling us, why didn't you stop? You were a student. You had sold your laptop. You were doing your final paper. I'm sure you were thinking of finishing school, what you're going to do after school.
Yeah.
And if you were not in Legon, but if you were in Legon, you would hear a lot about the world out there, as if it's some place that's going to catch you when, they frighten everybody about.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're going to finish school and there's no, you feel like you're going out to, to open water. And, you're no longer sheltered.
Yeah.
Why didn't you stop?
I didn't stop because I knew it was possible. If we are not able to make simple stuff as shoes, when can we make our own planes? When are we going to make...
It was a big risk because it was just you and the world.
Yes.
And you decided to go regardless.
Yes.
That's the boldness that's missing. That's what people need to be able to jump. You know what I mean? So you decided that I want to make a change.
Yeah.
How long has Chaste Global been in existence?
Chaste Global has been in existence for 4 years.
For 4 years now?
Yeah.
And how many staff do you have right now?
Currently, I have a staff of 6.
Okay.
5 in-house and then 1 outsourced.
1 outsourced. Okay, so I'm not going to ask you how you make your products because that's your trade secret. But we've talked about partnerships on this program, collaborations, people coming together to make sure that, I know you're starting, on your own. At some point when you want to scale up, when people begin to request for orders, and I'm going to come to that bit very soon, you are going to have to scale up. It means you're going to have to probably double your production. It means you're probably you're not at that level yet where you say you make Bugatti, so you're going to make only 10 a year and sell one for 100 million. We're discussing on the show earlier that sometimes when your business grows, do you maintain your quality by restricting your product quantities, or do you still go out and try and maintain it? In your case, people are going to ask for people wear shoes every day. So what's your plan? What's your strategy going forward? Growth-wise, how do you intend to grow?
Okay, so currently we produce on order basis, but now we are focusing on placing our products in certain retail outlets. Our dream is to become like a mass, product where everybody can be able to purchase our products. Mainly now we are focusing on working class people. We want to be able to produce products that even students can wear, even kids can wear, even women,
What makes your product distinct? If I saw shoes made by, and people brand their shoes these days, I'm not going to give anybody a free advert, but you know what I mean. If you saw some of the big brand names today, if they took the brand names away and they put 3 shoes from 3 different top brands on the same shelf, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Today you wouldn't.
You would,
Except that you look closely and you look at the brand and then you're able to tell this is da-da-da or da-da-da. What makes your product distinct? What effort are you putting into that to make sure that anybody sees your product and says, this one is from Chase Global?
I would say our material and design, because my strength is material selection.
Okay.
So I take my time in selecting materials for the product, and also with design, I study design. So I apply that in shoemaking, and also I would say that every product is made basically for you. No 2 products are the same. So what we produce for you is just for you. It's just for your foot.
So you custom make your products. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And a lot of people are paying for convenience today. The consumer today has become very sophisticated.
Yes.
Because he's spoiled for choice, so to say. So for all the people who do now, photo shoots before weddings have become a big thing. I'm sure very soon it'll be outmoded. Something else is coming pretty soon. So if any of these people who are doing these prestigious events, or should I say even private events, right from parties through to weddings, through to whatever, people can request that you custom make products for them.
Yes.
My idea of customization, and forgive me, I may not belong to a certain generation, but my idea of customization is to write your name on a product.
No.
So if I had cufflinks, I would like my initials to be on the cufflink.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are new ways that are coming up now. How do you, when you custom make a product for a customer, does the customization come from your creativity, or does it come from the customer's request?
It comes from the customer's request. And then also, let's say, for example, there are people that have different foots. There are people that one foot is bigger than the other. So that's also a form of customization. So we mold a shoe to your foot.
I'm excited about that. Do you know why?
It's not just for.
So if you are listening to me and you cannot seem to find your size anywhere, so you know that people like that, they can't seem to find their size. They struggle to get shoes.
Those are the people I actually work with.
So we're saying that here on Masterclass, there's a solution for you.
Yes.
There's Daniel Donko in the studio who can make shoes just for the size of your feet.
Yes.
No matter how small. Some people's feet are so small, they can't find shoes to wear. Some are, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they can actually come to you and you will help them fix this problem. I've got a comment on social media. This one is from Veronica in Osu. Veronica says, my name is Vero from Osu. I also started with 200 Ghana cedis making spring roll. Now it's very big and I need more hands. Veronica, I want to hear more of your story. So please pick up that phone. Give me a call on 0302 216 541. We want to be able to share the peculiarities of your storyline so that others can also be able to connect. Now, she's talking about starting small. It means that you don't necessarily need to start big.
No.
In the next 30 seconds, just talk to somebody. How can they start small? Because I think a lot of people think, it's not enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. But surely you can afford some amount of money at some point.
Yes.
So how can people start small? What should they look out for?
You know, starting a business is not, first and foremost, when I was starting, I thought everything was money. But I realized that it's the first thing is not money. You need to find a problem that you're solving. So if you're able to identify the problem, someone can even pay you to solve that problem.
Right.
When I started my business, I took money from people. I had my materials, but I'll still take your money, produce, sell to you, and with your money, I'll buy another set of materials to produce for the next person. That's how I started. So it was just, using your money to produce 2 products and selling those 2 products to produce 4 products.
And that's just business sense, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me ask this question. Some people are good at, like you said, your strength is in material selection. You were sitting in a building construction class and you were thinking about trading.
Yeah.
You had ended up in a course which was other than where your interest was. Where a person finds, and I'm asking that you answer this question on your personal experience, not on any expertise.
Okay.
Where a person finds a conflict of interest between their passion, their heartbeat, their hobby, what they're actually naturally good at, and what they're studying, especially when someone else is paying their school fees, call their father. What should be the thought process?
I think it is your heartbeat that is going to put food on your
But
table.
it's not an easy decision to make.
I know. I also think that parents should also be open, to allow their kids to do what they really want to do. I didn't have an easy with my parents.
Okay, you hold that thought. I've got Dennis from Abeka. Let's talk to him. Good afternoon, Dennis. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Good afternoon.
Talk to me, Dennis.
Okay, so Daniel, what's up?
Cool.
So you who's talking.
Dennis.
Dennis on Watson. Come on.
Oh, Dennis.
So I just called to say congrats. I mean, I've seen your work. I wear chase myself. And there's one thing people don't know. I started wearing shoes because I started wearing. And I'm always inspirational. I'm always people talking about my work. But now I'm getting married. Wow. I think I'm wearing shoes.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, more like a brother.
Right.
Big up.
Thank you so much. That was Dennis from Abeka. I think you know Dennis, right?
Yeah, I know
okay,
Dennis.
Okay. So again, numbers to call 0302 216 541 and give us a call. We're spending time here in the studio with one of Ghana's very own Daniel Odonko, product of KNUST, and he started making shoes here in Ghana right from scratch. So I was going to ask, marketing, selling your product. Sometimes you're good at making the product, but that's all you're good at. You're not good with numbers. And so I remember on this show we've talked about partnerships, even with family members and all of that. You find your strength in the product creation.
Yeah.
How do you handle your marketing and your selling? Are you limiting the should I say, the potential of your product to the limit of your marketing skills? Or are you employing additional marketing skills?
Yes, I am employing additional marketing skills.
So talk to us about that. How are you getting your product out there?
So I study, so
You watch YouTube.
I watch YouTube.
I've got John from East Lagos. Let's talk to John.
All right.
Good afternoon, John. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Yes, good afternoon.
Talk to me, John.
Yes, I'm really enjoying the discussion. I have seen his products on social media a few times.
Right.
I think they look very nice. But the thing is, the last time I even bought a pair of shoes from the market, and in a matter of weeks it broke down. So I'd like to ask him, if I were to wear his shoe every day, almost every day, how long would it last?
Would it last? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Please keep listening. So he's speaking to the question of durability. People want to support made in Ghana.
Yeah.
People want, to do made in Ghana. It's just there's so much to compare with.
Yes.
And so the standards are really high. If he were to wear your shoe to work every day, and he was supposed to wear, he chose to wear Asumesi's shoe. I'm not going to advertise for anybody. Would your shoes last? And please answer this question from your heart. Don't answer it because Ghana is listening.
The shoes will last because usually when I make any new design, when I produce any new design, I constantly wear that pair, for a very long time before.
You test run it yourself?
Yes, I do.
Are there warranties on your product? Because people cannot take your word for it. It's not you. It's just what the world has become. But people will take warranty. Are there warranties on your product?
Currently, I'll say no.
You can't afford it now.
I can't afford it now.
Okay.
But what I can assure you is quality.
I'll tell you what, and I'll offer it to you for free. You don't have to do it now. Think about it, okay? If you trust your product so much, begin to think of warranty. Okay? And you see, your integrity is your stock in trade at this point. It's not even the product you're making.
Yeah.
So you say, I trust that I've worn it for a year and it's stayed. If you wear my shoe for less than a year, of course, not when you're working on nails, and it lasts, then yes, take my word for it. If it does not last, I will give you a replacement pair. That is going to help people to be able to trust. Okay, I'm running out of time here, but I've got another comment on social media. This one says, good afternoon, host of Masterclass. Hello, Emmanuel. My name is Yao. I'm really enjoying the program. It's true we start business to solve a problem, but I started mine by assessing my strengths and interests. Okay, that's 1936 brand consult. That's also very, very, very good information, Emmanuel. But I suppose that the discussion on solving a problem is a combination of all the things you've talked about, your strengths and all of that. Because when you're starting something and you're not strong at it, clearly it's not an area that you should go into. Otherwise, then you should get people to be able to come in. Let's talk about where to find you. I'm running out of time here. If people needed to find you, are you online? Are you?
Yes.
Where do they find you online?
On all social media platforms.
Okay.
At Chaste Shoes.
At Chaste Shoes.
Yeah. CHASTE.
Okay.
Shoes. It's together.
Right.
And then also our website.
Yeah.
It's www.chasteshoes.com.
Okay.
We have an e-commerce website where you can buy, pay online, and
savvy. Okay, so people can order online.
Yeah.
And have it delivered.
You have it delivered.
That's impressive. Okay, money back guarantee.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, numbers to call. Someone's listening. They want to give you guys a call.
0247 050 942.
Okay, you want to take that again very slowly.
0247 050 942.
Okay, I've got a few more minutes, but let me just ask this question. It's just very niggling.
Sure.
One of the risks that exist in businesses when people start, and most of the time they fail to see, and it's usually like it's so what I'm about to share with you is also like a war strategy. People take their eyes off their supply line. Now, it's not even about your product. It's good enough. It's beating others. You're marketing it. We hear about it. It's affordable. It's available. But what is your supply line? Your supply line is your leather.
Yes.
Your supply line is your skill, is your people. How are you safeguarding that? So if you woke up one morning and your supplier says, a competitor went and, like it happened in this country, in some industry I will not mention, somebody got up and went to buy all the product in a particular area of another competitor and put it in a warehouse and locked it. So there was no longer supply until the guy ran out.
Wow.
It's strange to you. You have not thought about it.
I have.
Oh, you've thought about it?
I have.
What are you doing to safeguard your supply lines?
Okay, so
just very quickly in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So what we are going to become a full-time mass-produced company. So now we are sourcing materials from Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, but soon we'll start. We've actually started our sourcing ourselves from the main sources. So it's gradual. We are going into that.
Final words for anyone who's listening today. Having listened to your story, what are your final words for them?
I would say to them that whatever you want to do, just go for it. You are your own limit. So don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to what anyone is going to tell you. I was a construction student, but I'm doing arts. You are limitless. You are your own limit. So don't let yourself limit you.
The sky is even no longer the limit. The limit is now beyond the sky.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I wish we could have some more time. Maybe my producer will bring you back next week.
Sure.
But next week, we continue our discussion, meeting other entrepreneurs here in Ghana who are doing great things. My name is Yabana. For this has been Masterclass here in the Superstation. We're making way for commentary on AFCON as some more games come up. Thank you for listening and see you same time next week.